What's good, everybody? My name is Floyd Munoz. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for Bitwise Industries Workforce Training. I'm sorry that I couldn't be here live virtually with y'all, but I actually got caught up to Toledo. So when you watching this video, I'll be flying out there to Toledo to be able to help with the recruitment efforts and getting students and bringing awareness about Bitwise Industries and the opportunities that we provide. So I know that this is a very big day for each and every one of you, your first day for your apprenticeship inside sales. Congratulations, each and every one of you who got accepted into this journey. I know it wasn't easy, but you made it. So shout out to you. Now, I just wanted to kind of just share some of my bad if you hear my son in the background. He's having a good time, I guess. He's over there screaming, making some noise. But anyway, I just wanted to say, I have a little bit of experience as an inside salesperson. Not just a little bit, but a lot. Like I grew up my whole life, like hustling, just trying to survive. I come from a very poor family, and like it was part of the basically the daily life, just trying to survive, trying to get money for food, trying to, pay bills, and like it just wasn't the best, but it taught me, how to hustle. And I honestly believe that like if you have the motivation to be a hustler, it helps you in your sales because there's two types of salespeople. There's type A and then there's type B. Type A is a skilled salesman that is able to provide you with a product that you need, right? So, for example, I was at when I first started Bitwise Industries, I started off at one of their portfolio companies, OrderSlip. I don't know if any of you are familiar with OrderSlip, but they had a great idea back at the time when the pandemic first hit. There was a lot of restaurant owners that were suffering from not having apps, not having websites, and people didn't want to go in person. So they would call these companies, to try to get like a cheeseburger or whatever they wanted, to get some pizza. And when they were doing that, they actually like were getting busy line, they were getting busy signals, so they would just go on to the next business. So and then the individuals that did have like Grubhub or Uber Eats or something like that, they were suffering as well because like they had so many people that were on Grubhub and Uber Eats, like when they wanted to try to contact Grubhub and Uber Eats to be able to update their menu items or anything like that, like it was a hassle. So I know that they were suffering in that way, and as well as having to pay a fee for every single purchase that was made through those apps. So somebody in the company had an amazing idea. It's like, what if we just build apps for the restaurants? We offer it to them for free for 90 days, free of charge. And then at the end of the 90 days, if they want to continue with us, it's just $100 per month, no matter how much they sell. And then we'll not only will we give them the app, but we'll onboard one person from the company, from their company, and teach them how to use the app so that they want to, like be able to have deals of the day, like buy one get one free, that they can advertise it on their app themselves. If they want to update their menu, they're able to do that themselves. So it was just a great advantage, and that's something like as a salesperson, you have to be able to believe in the product that you're selling. Because if you don't believe in it, you're not going to have that enthusiasm. You're going to be calm like, hey, my name's Floyd. I'm trying to just, sell you this app, that I don't really believe in, like, do you wanna purchase it? And they were able to tell from my voice, like, man, this guy has no enthusiasm, no energy about what he's trying to sell. But if I believe in what I'm saying, I'm passionate about this. Like I believe that this app will change lives. It is definitely going to have a benefit for you and your company, that they'll be able to see the genuineness in you. So number one, always believe in the product that you're selling. And then so when you're selling something, you have that energy and you have that, and you know that you're providing something for them. That's how you're able to offer a benefit and assist somebody else. And then there's type two salesperson who just, they don't really care. They're just whatever they're trying to push onto you, they're gonna push onto you no matter what, and they make you feel like greasy and they make you feel like weird about the whole interaction. And like mostly you just end up hanging up on them and not wanting to talk to them. But if you're like in person trying to get the deal done, then they're not gonna let you leave until you have the deal, until they sell you what they want to sell you, and like whether it benefits you or not, just to get that sale. So by the end of the transaction, not only do you feel like kind of like dirty about the transaction, but like you leave regretting it, and then you'll have a bad taste in your mouth for that company or for that salesman, and you definitely don't want to go back. But now when you meet that type A salesperson, they're gonna make you feel good about the transaction because they're offering you a benefit and a service. So you're gonna want to tell your family, you're gonna want to tell your friends about the encounter that you had, and you're gonna want to refer them to them, to that company, So those are like just the basics of what I feel. So I started off as an inside salesman, and I'm like, oh man, I'm a hustler, man. I could do this. You feel me? I've been hustling my whole life, and it wasn't that easy. Inside sales is extremely hard, and and a good salesperson is very hard to come by nowadays. It's a skill and it's an art. So when I started, I would call people and I'd be like, hey, my name's Floyd. How's it going? I'm calling from Order Slip. I just want to be able to tell you about this amazing product. Like I thought that if they just heard the product that I was trying to sell to them, because it was a great benefit, that they would want to get and be a part of it. But there was like a few mistakes that I was making that I didn't know at the time. So I started off just not in investing really into any like type of learning, because I thought like I knew, like, or I just didn't do any research. So for about 2 to 3 months, I was just suffering. Probably about 2 months, I was like really suffering in the company. Wasn't getting anybody wanted to connect. So I decided to like start doing some research and learning better skills on how to be a better cold caller. So better inside sales tactics. So basically I started watching, videos of people doing cold calls. I started watching YouTube videos on inside sales, and like so a couple of the things that I learned that I hope that it would be a benefit for me to share with you. The first one, like I said, believing in the product that you're selling. The second one is it's called mirror matching. So if I call you and then they answer the phone and they're like, hey man, how's it going? And I'm like, oh, it's going pretty good. Like I sound timid. They're gonna be like, well, this dude, like, he don't got any energy. But now if I call them and then I say, and they say, hello, how's it going? And I'm like, hey, my name's Floyd. How you doing today? They're like, whoa, this guy got too much energy. Salesman, click, hang up on me, right? So you got to be able to match their energy. If they come in like, hey, how's it going? Now I'll say, hey, how's it going? My name's Floyd. I was on level 100 the whole time. And so it kind of like alienated me from a lot of people that weren't on that type of level. So now if they are on like on a high tone, if they are on high energy, like, hey, how's it going? You gotta say, oh, it's going pretty good, man. Hey, thank you. So you gotta match their energy wherever they're at. That's a very key thing to be able to do that. So, and then thirdly is you want to be able to learn not to talk over them, right? Like I said, like you don't want to be able to just like push that product down their throat, but also you want to be able to listen to their needs instead of just saying like, oh yeah, hey, this is an amazing product. You want to have that dialogue and that communication with them and hear from them. It's like, hey, my name is Floyd Munoz. I'm calling from Order Slip. We're an app provider. We help restaurants and with needing apps. Do you have any apps or websites for your restaurant? And they'll either say yes or they'll say no. And if they say no, then I know, okay, they don't have any. Let me kind of explain the benefits of the apps and for them, for their company. And then if they did have an app, I would find out like, well, what struggles are you having from the providers that you're already dealing with right now? Instead of just trying to, like, regardless, just trying to sell. And so they make it feel like, hey, this guy listens, this guy cares. So that's definitely a benefit of being able to be a good salesperson, is listening to their needs, to the customer's needs and the customer's wants. And then so I actually started getting a lot of success in cold calling, and it was crazy to me. I was like, oh man, this it's not as bad. But like, I just want you guys to know, like at first, like it was really hard for me. Like I was getting hung up on, I was getting cussed, And I should have made this rule number one, but like I'm already here on number 4, so I just want to say, but it should be number 1. Like, don't take anything personally, because you're gonna have people, they're gonna cuss at you. You're gonna have people that hang up on you. You're gonna have people that just go crazy on you because they feel like you're invading their space, you're invading their time. But at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. So you're gonna call 100 people, and maybe only 10 of those people like even listen to your spiel, and maybe only 5 of those people like want to sign up for what you're selling. So just keep that in mind. It's a number game, and don't get discouraged by the way that people talk to you. If you're able to overcome that fear of being able to sell, or being able to just to reach out to people, like you'll be so empowered in a way that you'll never ever have known or felt before. And like you'll be able just to walk into any room and you'll be able to get anything done, and you'll be able to go like freely with that confidence anywhere in the world. So just keep that in mind, that you're gonna feel weird, it's gonna feel awkward, it's gonna feel like you don't even want to call. You're gonna be like, oh, I don't even want to call, I don't even want to show up to work. And maybe not, maybe you got that natural skill, but I'm just saying those are some of the feelings that I went through. Like I definitely did not want to do no cold calling. So like I said, just remember, don't take it personally, and just continue to go on, and don't get discouraged. And it's a number game. So just keep calling, keep calling, keep calling. And then no matter what, you're gonna find people that need your services, and you're gonna find people that don't need your services. So once you're able to get over that fear, you'll be able to do just great into the company. Now, what I can share with you is, so from there, like I got promoted up to being a business development manager, the very first business development manager in GeekWise history. GeekWise uh, workforce training is formerly GeekWise Academy. Now we're workforce training. So I got promoted up as the very first the very first business development manager in the history of workforce training. So like it was a great honor, and I was like, oh man, like all that studying, all that learning I did on the side really paid off and really benefited to me. So then I started helping out with a WordPress website. They were creating WordPress websites, and what I was supposed to do is go out there and reach people into the community and try to be able to sell them these apps and sell them these websites, and sell them these websites. So I was calling people, and like it was hard to be able to give away free apps, and now I'm trying to sell them. At this time, it's still the beginning of the pandemic. People were being real stingy, man. They're being tight. They're hoarding water. They're hoarding toilet paper. They was definitely hoarding them dollars. You feel me? So like it was really hard, and like I worked at it. Like I showed up every day, positive, trying to just really make it happen for the WordPress apprenticeship. But like I failed, and then like I struggled daily, and like I felt like, man, I don't belong here. I shouldn't be doing this. Like they should have somebody that has more sales experience than me, and like I suffered, and some of that probably like rubbed off on my work efforts. Like I don't know though, but like I know I showed up every day with the willingness and desire to try to make it happen. It just something that didn't happen. So I remember at the end, I was doing that for a few months, and like I literally got no sales whatsoever, and like I felt like a failure. But what I had been doing while I was in there, like I was always thinking of new ways, and that's something that I encourage you all. Like don't just go, like what everybody else is doing, like try to find new ways, new strategies. It's a strategy game. You have to be able to adapt. You can't just be one way the whole way. You got to be like, okay, here's a roadblock, let me hop over this, or let me go under this, or let me go around it. And so if you can keep that in mind, and just know you have to, it's a struggle, but you have to adapt to the struggles and overcome all obstacles. So if you can do that, you'll do just fine in this game. So now at the end, like I said, I didn't get any sales in, but what I had started like trying to adapt around to is like, instead of calling like one-off people, like jewelers or lawyers or somebody and seeing if they want a website, I'll start talking to these community leaders and community organizations, and I'll start telling them about Bitwise and the amazing opportunities that we provide, and how we train up individuals to be able to, learn technology. And then from there, we hire these people on as full-time salary positions. So I thought maybe that they would like that story, and they would want us to be able to build an app for them, or they could at least share with their network some of the benefits. And like it didn't really come to pass, So I don't know what it was. It just didn't work out. Definitely not a lack of trying, because I showed up every day trying. But at the end of the day, I was provided another opportunity, because that whole apprentice went on. They got hired. They were able to get like work internally and stuff like that. So they were still had projects, and they all got hired on as full-time employees. And so I remember the VP of Workforce Training, Danita Ramos, she had said like, hey, you know what? We're trying to get one website for beginners class off the ground. This is when we're virtual still. It was last year. And she was like, we're trying to get this one WordPress, website for beginners class off the ground. We have about 23 students. We need just 2 more students to be able to get a full class. Do you think you can help? And that was on a Thursday. She had asked me, and then the class started on a Tuesday. She's like, I know you've been meeting with all these community leaders and community organizations. Maybe they didn't want apps, but maybe that they would be interested in wanting to provide opportunity for their network. So I was like, I could give it a try. Like still feeling like a complete failure at the time. So something really like amazing had happened to me, like I started reaching out to these guys, and like although they didn't want no app, they didn't want a website, they definitely wanted to help out their community. So I said like, hey, do you think you can share this flyer with your group, and like I was still cold calling that, like, I was cold calling people like, hey, like my name is Floyd Munoz, I'm the business development manager. We're trying to like get the class, it's a 6-week class, just breaking down the whole thing to them. I knew about the classes, because when I was talking to them to try to sell them websites, like I was able to break down the information. So they thought it was an amazing opportunity. Like, oh yeah, they just take this class, and then from then they can go on to, getting paid in your company, and then go on to full-time salary position. So that they were very intrigued. And so in those 4 days span of time, 4 or 5 days expansion of time, not only did I get those 2 people, but I also filled up 2 whole more additional classes with 50 people, excuse me, because each class is 25. So I ended up being able to recruit 52 people, and then like the light bulb just clicked for me, and I'm like, man, this is it. This is what I can do, because like I said, you have to be passionate about what you're selling. And me, I come from the underserved, underrepresented community, formerly incarcerated, like mother on drugs, homeless as a kid, like just struggle, like it was real struggle. So I never had anybody that could, like help me out with, with a job, or, I didn't know any managers or any directors or any VPs, I didn't know anybody. So to be able to have this opportunity here, like I knew that I wanted to be able to provide this opportunity to more people into the community. So I was definitely had that passion about it. And like I said, that's one thing you need to do in sales. Because as a recruiter, like it's still selling, like you're selling the opportunity, you're selling them the dream, and it's not like you're selling them like a bad dream, you're selling them like, hey man, like if you do this, your whole life can change. So like I definitely had that energy. So I just went in with it, and I made it happen. And then I just been recruiting ever since. Like now I'm the community outreach coordinator. Now I specifically just meet with community leaders, community organizations, and like I tell them about Bitwise and about the opportunities. And I meet with individual people. I show up to speaking engagements, and basically like my whole like things kind of pivoted. But I wouldn't have that confidence to be able just to cold call people from organizations, or be able just to reach out to people from organizations, if I didn't have the inside sales experience. So no matter, like I said, no matter what, if as long as you got that communication, you got that sales, you'll give so much opportunity for you. And like you don't have to just stick with inside sales. You can pivot anywhere into the company, once you get hired on full time. So I just want you all to keep that in mind, that inside sales is not easy, but you can benefit so much and gain so much confidence if you actually just put in the work and put in the effort to make it happen. I really don't have got too much to say on the topic besides that, but just know that like if you just follow those 4 key steps that I provided with you, and you just take those in, I suggest you guys write them down. But if you just follow those, it'll help you so much on your journey. And with that being said, like thank you for this opportunity of allowing me to be able to share with you. I hope that it can you can benefit you in your journey, and I hope to see you all like make it through here as top flight sales people, men and women. So thank you for sharing. Thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for this opportunity. And if any of you ever want to connect with me, like I said, my name is Floyd Munoz. You can reach out to me on Slack. I'm always open. I'll get some one-on-one time with y'all, so I can basically help you in your journey. I know you're gonna have an awesome, amazing lead. So definitely lean on your lead and just have them like as your mentor, and just listen to the things they say, but also put in that work. Like, Go read books, watch YouTube videos, because they can benefit you so much more. And you don't want to just be a mediocre salesperson. You want to be the best for yourself and for the company. So y'all have a great one. I appreciate the opportunity. Much love. I'm out.